So guys, in this video we're going to talk about this debugging the program. So if you have like hundreds and 200 lines of code, if you want to check out the variables content, you just use the print of say yeah, and then you will print the variables content and you will see whether the program flow is going correctly or not. That's a basic way of determining any errors. And actually it's very tough when you have long code like 300 400 lines of code and 1000 lines of code, and in that way if you have those many lines of code and you just putting the print statements everywhere is very bad, and it's also time consuming and it's a waste. So that's why we need to debug the program. So what this debugging mean is, you can stop the program at certain point and you can inspect the contents up to that point, and then you can step through the program code one instruction per at a time. So now we are going to do this. Now click on this. Here there is a play symbol and it has a insect symbol, that is the bug, and this is the debugger. And if you click on this, sidebar will open, and click on this run and debug, and it will ask to what to debug the file. So we need to specify this Python file, currently active Python file. Click on this one and you can see there are some controls here. So this one is the pause button, it will pause the okay. Now this program has been executed directly because we did not set the breakpoint. So this breakpoint, whenever it was hit by the Python interpreter, the program flow stops. So let's say I'm going to set the breakpoint just before this for. You can set the breakpoint here. You can see the right to this box and the left to this code. You can see there is a column and you can set the red dot and it says breakpoint. Now all I want to do is I want to run this. Now program will execute this line, but at starting of this line it will wait for to execute. So we need to manually step through this all of the code. Now let me run and debug. Click on this Python file. Now as you can see there is a yellow color line indicating that the next instruction is going to be this one. And if you expand here, we got the local variables, that is L. L is a list and it is a variable containing the values of this contains a value of this values. So you can see L contains all these function variables, and you can see 0 and x67 and all of those variables. Now what we want to do is I want to step through this program. I want to execute for loop only once. So these are the controls I can control the program. So if you click on this continue, the program continues till the end, and if there is any breakpoint in middle it will stop there. And this one is a step over. If you don't want to execute this one, you can step over this. If there is a function here and you can step over that function, you need not go into this function. So if you want to step into, it will step exactly one instruction and step out. If you are dealing inside the 1000 lines of code of a function, then if you want to step out of that function, you can step out. This is the restart and this is the stop. Now I am going to click this step into. Now this instruction gets executed. Now if you can see, I value is 0, and next instruction I am going to execute is print. Its interpreter is going to execute. Now if I click on this step into, print of L of I, L of 0, that is 67. Now 67 will get printed. As you can see the output, the 67. You can also see the call stack here. And now we are going to execute this again for loop, because it will execute until the length of this list. Now I am going to execute this print. Step into, step again. So you can see the second value has been printed. Now in that same way you can print all the elements. Step into, then step 2 times to print one element. And now this condition is going to be checked. I value is 5 and the length of this list is 6, and this is exclusive, it will check with 5. So now it will get out of this for loop. Now as you can see, this instruction pointer is pointing to a is equals to 2. Now if you go step into this, you can see a new variable has been added, a is equals to 2, and if you step through this again, b is equals to 5. Now the if condition is going to be checked, a is equals to 2, b is equals to 5. If a greater than b, so a is not greater than b, that's why it will pass to the next condition. If I step into this, you can see this statement is not executed because a is not less than 5. Again a is checked whether a is equals to b, is a and b are both equal. If I step into this, now it will get out of this else block, because these two conditions fail, and of course else will execute every condition other than this one, and I will get the print nothing. Now as you can see, our program debugger has been closed. So that's all about this debugging video. I hope you have understood. So don't worry, I will include this Windows expert development and also assembly language, then you will get much more idea of debugging. But this is generally the high level debugging. You just put the breakpoint over here and then you step into this program. Now I want to show you this. I will also set a breakpoint at if, before if. Now I am going to run and debug current Python file. So now I am going to step into this one. I am getting 3 values. So now if I want to leave out of this for loop, I can just simply say continue, and continue will go on continuing all over the code, and if there are any breakpoints, it will stop there. Now let's click on this continue. So let me remove this breakpoint. Okay, now as you can see, I have removed the breakpoint. Then it has been program has been paused here because this is the breakpoint. If I continue here, the program just prints out nothing. That means it prints nothing, just continuing the program. So that's all about this debugging. I hope you have understood setting the breakpoints and stepping through the program. That's all about the debugging. This is very important, and when you have written so much lines of code and then worrying about the variable input. So this debugging is used for solving these logical errors.